Reports are the workhorses of business communication. Whether delivered as memos, letters, electronic documents, or bound pages, they convey essential information, explain complex situations, and answer important questions, all in a quick, get-to-the-point manner. The first step in writing a get-to-the-point report is to understand what type of report you are writing. While reports can have many names, basically they fall into 6 categories. The incident report examines an incident, such as an accident or an error, in order to record what happened, determine causes, explain effects, and perhaps also to offer solutions. The periodic report provides information at regular intervals, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and so on, in order to keep track of work and plan for the future. The investigative report provides the results of research and testing procedures. The progress report provides details on how a project is going and what needs to be done. The trip or call report shares the results of activities or contacts outside the company. And the major report explores a serious issue of long-term concern to an organization. Once you understand what type of report you are writing, you can start working on your report through pre-writing. First, think about your purpose. What is your report supposed to accomplish? What measurable outcome is your target? Second, analyze your readers. Why do they need this report? How will they use it? What do they already know about the topic? What do they need to know? Third, consider the big picture. Why is this report important to your organization? Besides your primary readers, who else might see it? What are potential ripple effects? Fourth, do the research that will get you accurate facts. Check databases and files, consult people, use a business library, and go to reliable web resources. Fifth, analyze the data to make sense of it. Run and interpret the numbers, examine the evidence, and make connections. Sixth, outline your report. Use a template from a past report or follow a model. Think through ways of logically ordering the report. Once you've done sufficient pre-writing, you're ready to work on your report's first draft. With a good model or template, you can proceed by drafting various parts of the report in an order that feels comfortable. In other words, you don't have to start with the opening. However, here are some tips for writing the opening, the middle, and the closing. In the opening, put the report in perspective. First, label it with identifying information, including a title or subject line that specifies the type of report plus the specific topic. Second, introduce the purpose, provide background, and preview the report's coverage. Third, to be direct, include a summary of your report's main points, conclusions, and recommendations. In the middle, supply and explain all the information that your readers need. The key here is to carefully organize all your data using one or more logical patterns. Choose an order that makes sense of the information for readers. Consider time, space location, order of importance, categories, alphabetical order, cause-effect, compare-contrast, or hypothesis testing. Notice how in this sample incident report, the writer uses both chronological and cause-effect patterning. Whatever organizational patterns you use, make sure that you make the information accessible by using headings, lists, tables, and graphics. For most reports, you'll put the key points in the opening summary. However, you'll also want to include them, perhaps in greater depth, in your report's closing. If your report is purely informative, Simply summarize the main points that the reader needs. If you need to be analytical, add your conclusions about the topic. And if your report is persuasive, you may also need to add your recommendations. Whatever you provide in your closing, remember to also focus politely on the next step. Feedback, a follow-up meeting, the next report, continued work on the project, and so on. In this sample incident report, note that the closing focuses on recommendations and requests feedback. Once you have drafted your report, it's time to step back and ask what needs to be done to strengthen the ideas, the organization, and the voice. In other words, it's time to revise, to add, to cut, and to rewrite. As you work through a printed version of your report, ask yourself these questions. First, are the ideas strong? Is the information complete and correct? Is the thinking solid? Do the conclusions and recommendations follow logically from the information? Where thinking is weak, rework it. Second, does the organization make sense? And is it consistent? If the flow is confusing, untangle it. Add summaries and transitions where helpful. Third, is the tone of your writing objective and professional, but energetic? Where your voice is subjective, unprofessional, or flat, rework the material. Consider as well having a colleague review your first draft for these issues. Fresh eyes will often catch problems that you can't see because you're too close to the material. When you've addressed the key content issues in your report through revising, it's time to refine your writing by carefully examining word choice, sentence style, grammar, punctuation, and design. Pay attention especially to these issues. First, have you used terminology appropriate to the audience? Have you used plain English whenever possible? Have you defined technical terms unfamiliar to the reader? Second, are your sentences crisp and readable? Read aloud your report to locate and fix choppy, confusing, and rambling sentences. Examine parallel structure in headings and lists. Consider as well whether you can tighten your sentences by using a telegraphic style, which is appropriate to some reports. This style cuts unnecessary personal pronouns, especially as subjects, and provides tight clauses with strong verbs, as well as extensive lists. Third, use grammar check and spell check on your report, but also do your own check of grammar, punctuation, usage, mechanics, and spelling. Be especially careful that you have used key words and numbers correctly. Finally, refine your report's design. Does the report have lots of white space? A consistent heading system? Well-designed and well-integrated graphics? Again, consider having a colleague help you edit and proofread your report. Fresh eyes may catch details that you miss. Pre-writing, drafting, revising, and refining. These steps will carry you through the challenge of developing a get-to-the-point, reader-friendly report. For more information on writing reports, as well as samples of different types of reports, see Chapter 5 in the Write for Business text.